everyone, welcome back to my channel, English Waves. I'm Anna. Today we're talking about something deeply personal, something we all experience but rarely discuss openly: pain. Not just physical pain, but the kind of pain that shapes us. I'm talking about the rejection when someone says no to your dreams, the failure when your business collapses or you lose your job, the loss when someone you love walks away or passes away. The moments that break your hearts and sometimes make you question if you can keep going. We've all been there. Maybe you're there right now. But here's what I've learned and what I want to share with you today. Pain is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your power. What does that mean? It means that the very thing that hurts you today can become the fuel that drives your success tomorrow. The wound can become your wisdom. The breakdown can become your breakthrough. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let me show you, step by step, how to transform your darkest moments into your greatest strengths. Let me start with a story from Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. Viktor Frankl was a psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps. He lost his wife, his parents, his brother, everything. He experienced pain that most of us can't even imagine. But in that darkness, he discovered something powerful. He wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Think about that for a moment. Frankl observed that prisoners who survived weren't necessarily the strongest or the youngest. They were the ones who found meaning in their suffering. They were the ones who decided their pain would serve a purpose. Now, I'm not comparing your struggles to concentration camps, but the principle applies to all of us. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Here's what I mean. Pain is the event that happens to you. Suffering is the story you tell yourself about it. You get rejected from your dream job. That's pain. You tell yourself, you'll never succeed. That's suffering. The difference? Choice. And that choice is where your power begins. The 3 pillars of transformation. So how do we actually turn pain into power? I've identified 3 pillars based on research, psychology, and real-life examples. Pillar 1, acknowledgement. First, you have to feel it. In Brené Brown's book, Rising Strong, she talks about the reckoning, the moment when we recognize our emotions and get curious about them instead of pushing them away. She writes, "We can't selectively numb emotions. When we numb the painful emotions, we also numb the positive ones." Think about it like this. Imagine you break your leg, but you refuse to acknowledge it. You just keep walking on it. What happens? It gets worse. It never heals properly. Emotional pain works the same way. Practical step. When something painful happens, give yourself permission to feel it. Journal about it. Talk to someone. Cry if you need to. This isn't weakness, it's courage. Pillar 2, reframing. Once you've acknowledged the pain, the next step is reframing. There's a powerful story in Ryan Holiday's book, The Obstacle is the Way. He talks about how the Stoics believed that every obstacle contains the seeds of opportunity. He shares the example of Thomas Edison. When Edison's factory burned down in 1914, destroying years of work, he was 67 years old. Most people would have given up. But Edison said, "There is great value in disaster. All our mistakes are burned up. Thank God we can start anew." Within 3 weeks, he was back to inventing. The reframe? He didn't see the fire as the end. He saw it as a reset button. How can you do this? Ask yourself these questions. What is this pain teaching me? What strength am I developing because of this? Who am I becoming through this experience? Example, lost your job? Maybe it's teaching you resilience and forcing you to pursue something more aligned with your passion. Got your heart broken? Maybe it's showing you what you really need in a partner and helping you develop emotional strength. Pillar 3. Action. Channeling pain into purpose. The final pillar is action. This is where pain transforms into power. In Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, he shares his incredible story. Goggins grew up in an abusive household, struggled with obesity, and worked as a pest control worker. But he used all that pain, the abuse, the self-doubt, the physical limitations, as fuel. He became a Navy SEAL, an ultra-marathon runner, and one of the toughest athletes alive. He has this concept called the accountability mirror. Every morning, he'd look in the mirror and confront his pain, his weaknesses, his excuses. Then he'd write down his goals and take action on them every single day. His philosophy? You are in danger of living a life so comfortable that you will die without ever realizing your true potential. The key lesson? Pain gives you clarity. It shows you what matters, and when you know what matters, you can take massive action. Practical step? Take your pain and turn it into a mission. Lost someone to cancer? Volunteer, raise awareness, run a marathon for the cause. Experienced discrimination? Become an advocate, tell your story, create change. Failed at business? Document your lessons. Help others avoid your mistakes. Your pain becomes your platform. Your mess becomes your message. Real stories, real transformation. Let me give you 3 more quick examples of people who turned pain into power. 1. J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling was a single mother on welfare, struggling with depression after her mother's death and a failed marriage. In her Harvard commencement speech, she said, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life." She used that pain to create a world that gave hope to millions of children. Today, she's one of the most successful authors in history. 2. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah experienced poverty, abuse, and discrimination. But in her own words, turn your wounds into wisdom. She channeled every painful experience into empathy, into connecting with others, into building a media empire focused on transformation and growth. 3. Malala Yousafzai. At 15, Malala was shot in the head by the Taliban for advocating girls' education. She could have hidden. She could have stayed silent. Instead, she became the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate and a global symbol of courage. In her book, I Am Malala, she writes, "We realize the importance of our voices only when we are silenced." Her pain became her purpose. So now let me ask you, what pain are you carrying? Maybe it's recent, maybe it's from years ago. Maybe you've been trying to ignore it, numb it, or run from it. Here's what I want you to do. Step 1, write it down. Just one sentence. The pain I'm carrying is... Step 2, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What strength is growing because of this? Step 3, decide, how can I use this pain to help others or to become stronger? Remember what Rumi the ancient poet said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Your pain isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that you're human, and it's an invitation to become more than you were before. Here's the truth. You're stronger than you think. Every person who's ever done something great has had to transform pain along the way. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who break through, they made a decision. They decided their pain would mean something. They decided to turn it into power. So wherever you are right now, whatever you're going through, know that you have that choice too. Your pain is not your prison. It's your portal. Thanks for listening today. If this resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, you are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by what you do with it. I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep going, keep growing, and keep turning your pain into power.